So I'm not saying these are my best videos. I'm not saying these are my most successful videos. Just for the focus of this Sunday Sofa Time, we're looking at what are my biggest earning videos. And we're gonna start with number 5. My 5th highest earning video to this date is my cruise ship mini suite versus balcony on Norwegian Cruise Lines. That video is from a couple years ago and has earned... It is Sunday, October 8th, 2023, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, we're talking about how much money cruise tubers make. It is no secret anymore that YouTube can earn you a lot of money. There are plenty of examples of people who have grown their community so large on YouTube that they now live in huge houses and are basically set for the rest of their lives. I am not one of them, but I've been making YouTube videos for 15 years now, and in fact, when I first started uploading videos to YouTube, nobody was making money. It was just a platform to share your experiences, and now it has grown into this million or billion-dollar business that a lot of us probably spend too much time watching every day. If you're new here, I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Like I said, I've been making travel videos for 15 years now. I travel all around the world to popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. And in today's video, I am going to show you exactly how much I've made in relation to one certain trip, and then show you how much money I spent to make this trip happen. You can take a guess now how much the difference is gonna be, and if it's gonna be in the positive direction or the negative direction. We're also gonna talk about how much some of the bigger YouTube travel channels make. And in the end, if you're interested, I'll show you how much my biggest earning video has made of all time. Like I said, when I first started making YouTube videos, you couldn't make money with them. I was just sharing my experiences like everybody else, and then the YouTube Partner Program came into existence. In the beginning of this program, the only way that you could get ads run on your video and be eligible for revenue is if somebody at Google or YouTube thought that your channel showed potential, and then you would receive an invitation to join. I was lucky enough to be one of the first travel channels to become part of the program, and I think in my first month I made like €3. And of course, the fact that YouTube has gone from a space that people used to really just share their personal experiences to a place where people try to gain clicks for money, that has changed the whole atmosphere of what it's like to watch videos on YouTube, and especially what it's like to create videos on YouTube. And I have also received critical comments saying that people liked my earlier videos better. Not everybody, but some people do say that, stating that YouTube was more entertaining when it wasn't a business, and I get that. However, this platform has now allowed so many creative people like myself to live out a lot of their dreams, and also, for example, help a lot of people with how to change a tire, how to cut your own bangs, wouldn't recommend it, or how to look for the best cruise, the best Disney World hotel, the best travel destination for you. And speaking of cruises, my most recent ocean adventure was on board the gigantic Costa Smeralda cruise ship. Costa is the Italian brand of the Carnival Corporation, and I took one of many cruises through the Mediterranean on this gigantic ship just a couple months ago. From these 8 days of travel that were involved with getting to Barcelona and then traveling on the ship and returning home, I was able to create 16 videos, or 16 pieces of content, as they call it. And when you are a YouTube creator, you have access to a different YouTube that allows you to upload videos and create the thumbnails and see all this information that you won't be able to see if you're just watching a video. These are all the videos I've uploaded recently. You can see over here that shows you how many views they've gotten since they've been uploaded. And if I click on the analytics here of this video, for example, beautiful beach butt scam alert in Ibiza, you can see it shows me since I've uploaded it just a couple weeks ago, it's gotten 9.7 thousand views, so almost 10,000 views, 1.3 thousand hours of watch time. It's gained me 21 subscribers, so not a lot. And I have earned €82 just with this one video. So for those of you who are really good at math, which
I'm not,
you might think it's really easy to calculate somebody's revenue by just looking at this example and thinking, okay, if 10,000 views equals 82 euros, then 20,000 must equal 164 euros. But it doesn't work like that, and I will show you an example. To compare it, this Barcelona cruise transportation guide, which I uploaded a week or maybe 2 weeks before that video, has received less views, so more than 1,000 views less, but has earned 104 euros. So it's not as easy to predict the amount of earnings just based on the views, because it really goes up and down, and that depends on a lot of different factors that we as creators mostly can't control. We as creators can't choose which ads run on our videos. We can choose where we would like them to run, and then whether or not they get seen there or not, that's also up to YouTube. By the way, we as creators can choose that we don't want any ads to run on the videos, but YouTube reserves the right to run ads anyways. So if you ever get annoyed because one of your favorite creators seem to all of a sudden have all these ads on their videos, don't necessarily get mad at them, because we can't really control that either. Yeah, depending on certain factors in the algorithm and the video context, that will improve or degrade, I guess, the earning potential of a video. Like I said, I've created 16 videos from this trip so far. The one that has performed the best up until this point is my Rome cruise port transportation video, where I showed you what it's like to take the train from the cruise port of Civitavecchia into the city of Rome and back. This video's been online since August 30th, so at the moment about, a month and a couple weeks. It has gotten 51,000 views and it has earned 480 euros. So as far as my channel goes, this video is performing very well, and I think that this is going to end up being the best performing video from this series as far as views and of course subscribers goes, and probably definitely from income as well. I'm not gonna show you me clicking through here on all 16 pieces of content I created. However, I did it and I wrote down the earnings up until this day into this spreadsheet, and the total that I have earned from Google AdSense, just from Google AdSense, from this trip up until now comes to the grand total of 1,091 euros and 27 cents. So if you add all the views together, that's probably about 100,000, 150,000 views in total from all 16 of these videos. And up until now, like I said, earned me about 1,091 euros. Of course, anybody who knows anything about running a business knows it's not just about how much you earn, it's also about what you invest in the business, the money you spend, and we're gonna look at that now too. As I've mentioned so many times on this channel, I pay for all my trips. I don't get invited on press trips. I don't usually accept any kind of freebies because I like to remain honest. I like to tell you my real opinion. I know a lot of what people watch on YouTube is purely for the entertainment value, but I still would like to remain honest and tell you what it's really like. There are other cruise tubers out there who say they do that, but they don't. So I have also created a spreadsheet here. The fact that I've created a spreadsheet for videos, don't worry about me, Mom, everything's fine. But yeah, in this spreadsheet, I listed all the expenses I had to make this trip happen, starting with the cruise, which cost me 799 euros as a solo passenger. A booking fee here, I bought the drink package, my flights are down here. I guess I could have put this in a specific order. I just kind of put it in the order that seemed convenient to me while I was adding up these numbers. So these are all the expenses here. I'm gonna add them up for you in a minute, but before I do that, let me just invite you to please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already. Subscribing, leaving a comment, and pressing thumbs up is one of the best ways that you can support any YouTuber that you enjoy. But if you're looking for another way to support me, I also wrote a book called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. It tells a little bit about my life before YouTube, how I started doing this full-time, and then there are 10 stories of weird, unusual things that have really happened to me while traveling around the world. It's available on Amazon now. All right, you may be really good at math and had been able to add this up in your head already, but after the cost of the cruise, the cost of the flights, the cost of hotel and food and things like that. And well, some things that I definitely didn't need to spend money on, but I did. In order to make this trip happen, I spent 1,710 euros and 12 cents. So you can see at the moment, just from the Google AdSense earnings, I'm about 700 euros in the hole. Let me know in the comments, are you surprised by any of these numbers at the moment? Are you thinking,
wow, that's more money than I thought that you could make with YouTube?
Are you thinking,
I can't believe Morgan spent that much money on one cruise?
Or are you thinking,
that boy must be broke?
Well, there's a couple factors that we need to discuss here so you can truly understand the business of YouTube. First of all, luckily, Google AdSense is not the only way that I and many other content creators make money. I've talked about this already in this video. My two other highest sources of income that help me keep this ship afloat are my Patreon page, which is a crowdfunding site where you can sign up for a certain membership level. And by doing that, you support what I do and you get a behind the scenes look at things that are happening. You find out about what trips I'm gonna be on before everybody else. You can get your questions answered like right away, and some other fun, surprising benefits. I'm not the only person who does Patreon. I think just about every YouTuber nowadays has a Patreon account. Mine is patreon.com/veryunofficial if you want to go check it out and sign up. For instance, I recently uploaded a video there which was an extended version of my visit to the beach on Ibiza, where I also went over to the other side of the beach to go to the clothing optional side. Those are the kind of like extra goodies that you get on my Patreon. I have been so shocked and humbled by how many copies of my book have been sold. I also mentioned this recently, but September, I broke a personal record for units sold in a month in 2023. So thank you, everybody. Those are two really fantastic, helpful ways to support what I do. And I just want to say it again, thank you so much. And the other thing to remember and consider is the earnings that I showed you here are just for the videos from the Costa Cruise. Those aren't the only videos on my channel. These are just the videos from this one trip. And I think it won't take me very long until these videos cover the cost of this trip, but with all the other videos I have on my channel that are getting views every day and that are gaining revenue every day, it's working out okay. I'm not gonna be moving into a huge ranch like Jeffree Star, I can tell you that, but I'm doing okay. Okay, you might be really curious now that we've talked about some of my earnings with my how many do I have? 68,000 subscribers? Oh, okay, 63,000. Shot a little high there. But you might be thinking, how much do some of these bigger YouTubers make? What about Emma? What about Ben and David? What about Tony? Well, there is a way to find that out, and I'm gonna show you right after this commercial break. Did you get one? What was it about? Write it in the comments below. You might think it is a big secret to find out how much people make on YouTube in a year or in a month, and you know, technically it kind of should be, but there is a website that estimates it for you based on certain factors that they have access to. It's called Social Blade. So if you go to socialblade.com and type in the name of the channel up here, you can see, if I type in my channel, it shows you here in this middle section, the estimated monthly earnings and the estimated yearly earnings. This is, of course, a very interesting way to sort of snoop around in the bank account of people on YouTube. However, you can see here from these estimations that it's a pretty rough estimation. Within the last month and a half, just from those 16 Costa videos, I've already earned over 1,000 euros. And they're estimating that my monthly earnings cap at 563 euros, and that would be really depressing. I'm not sure exactly how they factor this together, but they're saying that my maximum estimated yearly earnings caps at 6.8 thousand, and yeah, it's definitely more than that. But keeping that in mind, that let's say the estimations are very much on the low side, we can type in some of the other channels here, like Emma Cruises, and it will show us the estimation of what Emma makes in a year If they're that far under what I'm making in their estimate, then I would say Emma's probably making quite a bit more than 76,000 euros. Congratulations, Emma! Going over to Tony and Jenny at La Lido Loca. Oh, I guess they're the winners at the moment from this group. And that's of course not including all the merchandise sold, all the extra that comes in from Patreon memberships, and all the other business ventures that they and I have. Of course, just to be fair, because I haven't talked with any of them specifically about how much they're making. I'm also only looking at what is here on Social Blade, and maybe in their case, the high estimate is a lot more than what they're making. That could also be true. And now if you're asking yourself, well, Morgan, you've been making YouTube videos so much longer than the rest of these guys. Why aren't you earning that much? Their audiences have grown much quicker, much faster than mine, and their uploads consistently get over 50, 60, 100,000 views per upload. Mine don't. I do have several videos with over 100,000 views, some of them over 500,000 views. I'm gonna show you my top earning video in just a minute. But my channel is sort of like a smaller boutique channel. You can see one of the best performing videos that I've uploaded within the last month and a half has gotten 51,000 views, which is fine with me. I don't measure my success or the value or effectiveness of my videos compared to the views of what Tony's doing or what Emma's doing or what Dawn is doing, because we're all making different kind of videos. All right, I promised I would show you my best performing video when it comes to earnings. And if you've been around the Very Unofficial Travel Guides for a while, can you guess at this moment what video of mine you think it is? You know what? I'll tell you the top 5. So I'm not saying these are my best videos. I'm not saying these are my most successful videos. Just for the focus of this Sunday Sofa Time, we're looking at what are my biggest earning videos. And we're gonna start with number 5. My 5th highest earning video to this date is my cruise ship mini suite versus balcony on Norwegian Cruise Lines. That video is from a couple years ago and has earned 1,148 euros and 69 cents. The next one is a more recent video from the Queen Mary 2 sheltered balcony cabin video. That video has earned 1,206 euros and 49 cents. One of my very first cruise related videos is my guide to Coco Key, which is totally outdated now because the island has changed so much since I created this video. That has earned 1,281 euros and 33 cents since it was uploaded. My 5 ways to get free drinks on a cruise. I probably should make a newer version of that now. That has earned 1,421 euros and 31 cents. And my cruise ship cabin comparison video, which I definitely could make a new version of. I probably should. That video has earned 2,187 euros and 84 cents. And that's for 545.9. How do you say that? And that's for 545,900 views. So almost 546,000 views, 500,000 views equals over 2,000 euros with this video. I wish there was an easy way to find out exactly how many videos I've uploaded, but I can't figure it out. It's literally thousands of videos that I've uploaded. So when you consider some videos over their lifetime are earning 1,000, 2,000 euros. Some are only earning a couple hundred euros, but all together, it kind of adds up to a nice, comfy little sum that I can pay the rent with. As always, I'm really interested to hear what you think about this, if this was surprising to you, if you thought this was an interesting video, even though I didn't talk about traveling really at all. I'm really looking forward to what you have to say in the comments below this video. And speaking of comments, now comes a time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, which is the last video I uploaded on this channel, however, speaking of channels and creating content and things like that, you may have forgotten because I don't upload there very often, but I do have a second channel. It's youtube.com/GutenMorgen. I uploaded a video there trying out this holographic Halloween projector that has been in so many Facebook ads. I tried it out there. If you want to see if it really works and if I think it's worth the money, go check out youtube.com/GutenMorgen. Anyways, in the last video here on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, I did sort of a side-by-side comparison of a standard balcony cabin on Royal Caribbean to a sea terrace on Virgin Voyages. These comments are on that video. The first one is from Amunsi channel. They write, "There's almost endless possibilities of these comparisons you could do, and we would love to see more of them. Thanks for that feedback. I will do a couple more. Design is crucial when furnishing small spaces, and your comparison on both of these rooms shows that. Also, I've seen plenty of positive reviews on Margaritaville at Sea, and I believe some of these YouTube channels use the negativity for views and don't give an honest opinion about the cruise."
What? YouTube channels being overly negative for views? No. Who would do that?
Look forward to seeing your true and honest opinions about it. I know you always have and will. Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving for that trip in like 2 weeks, so if you wanna also see like up to the minute updates, look for Very Unofficial Travel Guides on Facebook or follow Mr. Morgan O'Brien on Instagram. Next comment is from Superstarian Knows How. They write, "In June, my wife and I cruised on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. After a long day at port, I was exhausted and waiting for the shower. Being there was no sofa." Yeah, on Virgin Voyages, except for the bed, there's not really any place to lounge in the cabin. "But being there was no sofa, I stretched out on the floor. That's when I discovered more storage. There are 2 large drawers underneath the bed." This is something that a couple people have commented on. I criticize the lack of places to put your stuff on or in the Virgin Voyages cabin, but apparently there are also 2 large drawers underneath the bed. They go on to write, "When the room was to be configured as a sofa and then converted into a bed, the drawers would have been very visible. But since no one does this, they're easy to be missed. As a primarily Royal Caribbean cruiser, I do prefer their cabins over Virgin." Yeah, that's one of the things I like about this channel and about making these videos is you learn things like this and I have the opportunity to pass this information on to you as well. I criticized the cabin saying that there's very little space, but there is more space. You just have to know where to find it. Final comment is from Andrea Griffiths. Andrea asks, "For the soaps, shampoos, and conditioners on Virgin, do the bottles have an ingredient list on them? If so, does anyone have said ingredient list? I'm allergic to SLES, ALES, SLS compounds, and it would be real nice if I didn't have to bring my own." Andrea, I went looking because we did bring some bottles of it back home, but I can't find any of them right now. If I do, I'll write again. But if any of you out there have one of them or maybe are on a Virgin Voyages cruise right now and could try to get a list of the ingredients. I know when we stayed in the suite, we did get the bottles to take with us, and I'm pretty sure that the ingredients were listed on there, but I can't find any right now. But like I said, if you have one and can take a picture of the ingredients, please send it to me as a private message on Facebook or on Instagram, and I'll try to pass it on to you, Andrea. Thanks for spending this part of your day with me watching this somewhat different video on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. As I said, in just a couple weeks, I will be back out on the road on a new adventure, gaining some new experiences to share with you, and I'm so grateful for you hanging around with me until then. Bye-bye.